There we go. Oh, right. I forgot that's a thing now, super sampling mode. There we are. I just wish we could access the options menu from the very beginning. Now, my goal here is I want to get a better handle on the combat systems. I want to get more of a feel for this when we actually get to retail, which is, what, April 10th? And I want to get a better handle on just the general mechanics of switching between characters and using the quick shortcuts and understanding how different attacks have different effects. I went back earlier today. No problem, Pabe. I don't blame you at all. Thank you for dropping in. Have a good one. And, yeah, anybody else who is concerned about spoilers for the FF7 remake, I would advise that you take the opportunity to duck out now before I jump into the gameplay. I'm not really going to be focusing on the story so much here, but if you're trying to stay totally clean on this, then really potentially anything is a spoiler, so... Hello, Radio Crawler, welcome! Yeah, I was about to mention, Radio Crawler, Marcus has been doing challenge runs of this demo already, and he's apparently gotten a very good handle on the combat. And I want to kind of get to, maybe not the point he's at, but at least the point where I understand what I'm dealing with. Oh, he did finish it, Radio Crawler. Okay. Very good. I'll have to go check the VOD. And hello, Elden Ring. Welcome. God, my ears are getting blown out here. All right. We'll jump in, and then as soon as I can, I will adjust the audio. Because unfortunately, Also, several people have pointed out that the 10 minutes or so of the camera floating through space that they showed at the beginning of the original FF7, they just skip it here. Or else they did away with it entirely. Which is fine with me. Nice, Obru. That's Marcus for you. Determined to a fault. Oh, this will be my second time through the demo, Radio Crawler. I've played it once already, but... I was watching Maximilian's footage of it earlier, and he made a lot of really good points, and since he actually got to go to Square Enix's office building in Japan and play a much more comprehensive build of the game, not to mention a much more recent one, he had some insights that pretty much nobody else other than the few game journalists who were also invited out there are going to have at this point. And he mentioned some interesting things I didn't know about that I'd like to try and see if I can get a grip on those. Yeah, I know, Dandy Wizard, but that doesn't matter. The combat is still going to be basically the same. There's enough in the demo for me to get at least a basic handle. I have seen it, Elden Ring. About how he wore his FF7 jacket that he got on eBay and they were freaking out. I've heard it.
Get down here, Merc.
Alright, let's see. Ah, damn it! Yeah, I can't access the menu yet. I really wish the PS4 had some built-in way to... I don't think it does. I wish it had some built-in way to dynamically adjust the volume, because under sound and screen, you get video output settings. You only get primary output port and audio format. You don't actually have the ability to adjust the audio output volume of your system, which is a huge problem because the game does not allow us to access any setting to adjust the volume until we're several battles in. Granted, it's only a demo and they probably didn't think of that, but...
Halt! Who goes there?
It better, Dandy Wizard.
You're up.
And Radio Crawler, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. I am overjoyed to have you. I really appreciate your being here.
You're coming with us.
So what I want to do
nice and
here...
easy.
Don't think so. Not
There we
bad.
go.
It's over.
Alright, so what I learned from Max is that Punisher mode also has a charge attack, the same as Operator mode does. Ha! Gotta love the sun. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome.
Who in the hell? Hands where I can see them.
So I want to experiment a little bit more with the
Have fun.
Punisher mode stuff. Max seemed to think that the counter in Punisher mode
Freeze! Move
Was-
and we shoot.
Go ahead. Is that it? Enough of this. That's that.
There we go.
It's over.
He seemed to think that the parry, the counter rather, in Punisher mode was dependent on correct timing, but it turns out that it isn't. Alright, now they finally give us access to the menu. So, System, Options, Audio. There we go, that's a little bit better. Now, camera distance, I want it 3. Camera distance in battle, I guess maybe 2. Camera repositioning, no. Attack target correction, change the setting. For automatic camera adjustment when attacking off-screen targets. Yeah, we should leave that on. I don't think so, Dodgy Dingo. You can minimize the damage you take by blocking, but some attacks are unblockable. Camera pullback. Yes, responsiveness. That's fine. Camera view ally commands. Change who the camera focuses on when using... Okay, yeah, I want that on non-active characters. Lock on controls right stick, that's fine. Lock on switching. Switch targets by pushing the right stick, left or right. Switch targets by pushing the stick in the direction of the new target. Okay, so I want switch in order. Combo targeting. Set target switching functionality during a combo. Fix the target when performing a combo. I am kind of curious to try out free combos, but what this seems to do is to turn tracking on and off. And I'm not sure I want that. Hey, Sagari, how you doing? It's great to see you. Yeah, Dodgy Dingo, he did a little earlier. How have you been, Sagari? I hope everything is okay. It's been a while. They're not cutscenes, Bloodlust. They're in-engine. They're not cut-ins or anything like that. But yes, it will have limit breaks, for sure. Vibration off, screen shake off. Those are just obnoxious. Gameplay. Difficulty is fine. Cursor positions, remember. Minimap. Oh, have the minimap rotate with the camera. Okay, no, I prefer that on static. Combat controls guide. No. That should be fine. Alright. Battle settings. So for Cloud, I'm gonna have to just constantly remind myself to use these. Potion. Alright, I want to set this to fire, and then X to potion. Because I'm not going to be using my limit break via the quick menu, because limit breaks take too long to charge. One thing that does really disappoint me, though, is that apparently your limit break bar does not retain any build-up after battle. It resets. So you can't save your limit breaks the way you could in the original FF7. I really hope they change that. I hope they get some feedback about that, because that was one of the things that irritated me most about FF9, was that your trance bar reset after every battle. So it made it so that you really couldn't make very good use of your... Well, in 9 it didn't reset, but you couldn't control when you used it. And I really prefer having as much control over limit breaks as possible. I would prefer to be able to save them. I hope in the final version of the game you can. Or that at the very least that they patch it so you can. Because being able to save your limit breaks on every character for boss battles, especially in this game, is a nice tactical thing to be able to do. Yeah, Radio Crawler, but it's nice that they give you the ability to choose one or the other, you know? But that's really my only complaint before. A bunch of people told me, and Max mentioned it as well, that the Benora thing is a reference to Crisis Core. I've never played Crisis Core, so I'm not really familiar with it, but... Hello, Chaos Yoshi. Thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. This is my second time through the demo, so... I've enjoyed it once, and I'm sure I'll enjoy it again. This is Eris's handbag, I think. And then we've got the old spiky hair tonic. And a nice little reference to the number 7 as it was displayed in the original Final Fantasy VII. That exact font comes from FF7. I don't exactly remember where, but there was somewhere in the original FF7 where they had a number 7 in that precise font. And I just love the Shinra X sensor technology, SNR58, because, you know, Sony had to get in a plug. My favorite one of these, though, is the Red Lord energy drink. I'm not into energy drinks, but I would try that out.
Drop the weapon!
You got this.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, Slime King, but that's what I love. I love that they don't hit you in the head with Easter eggs like a hammer in this game. They do it really subtly, and if you're not paying attention, or if you don't know what the original source of the reference was in the first place, it goes right over your head. And last year at PAX East, when I attended the panel with Tim Kaine and Leonard Boyarsky and a bunch of the Obsidian guys and girls on The Outer Worlds, Tim Kaine made a really good point about Easter eggs. And I 100% agree with him on this. What he said was basically that if the developers of a game are going to include an Easter egg at all, if they're going to include something that's cool or funny, it should be something that's cool or funny anyway. And even if you don't get the reference, you should either be able to look at it and say, oh, that's neat, and, you know, identify it as just whatever mundane thing it looks like, or it should go totally over your head. He said that the player should never know that they are missing a reference. They should never reach a point in the game that says, hey, look at this. This is a thing? And then they look at it and they go, yeah, I know there's a thing here, but I don't get it. I have no idea what it is. And his reasoning was essentially that takes you out of the moment, it ruins your immersion, and it makes you feel like you're on the outside of an in-joke for people that the game was actually meant for. It's kind of, it's exclusionary in a way. And that was a really good insight on his part, and he made a good point. I agree with him on that. If they're gonna do Easter eggs, especially in a game like this, where people have so much nostalgia, they have so many fond memories of this game, and they'll have, you know, really, there are a lot of people who paid attention to the story in the original game and who are familiar with the entire Final Fantasy VII compilation and all of that stuff. They're gonna catch almost every, if not every, little reference. And there's going to be stuff sprinkled in that is there just for them, and everybody else should just either look at it and kind of not see it as anything out of the ordinary, or they shouldn't even know it's there.
You're coming with
All
us.
right, so
Can't get surrounded. No holding back. That's that. See ya. That's that. Not bad.
So another interesting thing that Max mentioned, which I didn't know about previously, was in Punisher mode, if you hold square, rather than the regular series of heavy slashes you get in Punisher mode, you get that forward ground stab with the red aura, which apparently gives Cloud a sort of a temporary buff. Which I guess is an attack buff of some kind. Yeah, Dandy Wizard, but you shouldn't have to go watch videos on the internet to understand basic references in a game like this to begin with. I mean, I guess if you want to know what you missed, if you're not familiar with all the intricacies and all of that stuff of the original game, then yeah, I could see the appeal for that, but you shouldn't have to do it as a matter of course, you know? Yeah, Yami, usually that's probably just because you're not familiar with the source material. NZL Clutch, I believe this game runs on the Unreal 4 engine. Which explains why it looks so good. I mean, as I understand it, Unreal 4 has been around for a long time. And I guess it's been optimized over the course of that period of time really well. And of course, Square Enix is going to have the money to hire the people they need or use the internal talent to optimize it even further. Map screen you can check. Okay, yeah, that's that. That's cool. Interesting thing here is that because this guy got knocked out in a cutscene, he doesn't disappear. He doesn't die and return to the planet as the other guys do. Oh, fair enough, Yami. You got me there. Yeah, Radio Crawler Max was saying the same thing about how he's looking forward to playing this on PC in 60 FPS. I'll tell you what, the mods of this game on PC are going to be something. People modding in Dante as Cloud and other dumb shit. NZL, I am playing this on PS4 Pro, and my PS4 Pro has an SSD in it, so this is the ideal experience you're going to get on a PS4 Pro. Really appreciate the environmental detail. I did take some time previously to admire it, but They did a great job with the smoke effect coming out of the reactor. You can even see, like, Mako particles in it, little bits of life stream floating out in the smoke. And the floodlights here are a really nice touch. It really makes you feel like you're in an industrial environment, especially when you look at this fenced-off boilers or gas tanks or whatever these are. This sign says Tachi Iri Kinshi, which basically is the same as it says in English. It just means keep out. And it says hot surface, so I'm guessing it must be some kind of boiler or fuel tank or something. I mean, everything in Midgar runs on Makos, so probably that's what it is. This is a generator, I guess, of some kind. But just the steam coming out of the generator as well, and the fog effects around the lights are really nice. West Yami. No, Radio, is Japanese voice acting available? I wasn't aware that it is. It would be audio, wouldn't it? No? Gameplay? Subtitles, chat log. No, I don't think it's available here. I suspect, Radio Crawler, you have... Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna say you probably have to either have a Japanese PSN account and download the Japanese version of the demo, or maybe setting your console would work, but... European Yami. But yeah, they did a fantastic job, and I was thinking about it the other day, and I've been looking a little bit more closely at the maps, and I think... There it is. Whoops, damn it, I keep fat fingering this. If you look at the map of the platform, it is almost the same as the original platform in the original FF7 that you disembark at, and I've been trying as best I can to compare the layouts of the rooms in the remake to the layouts of the rooms in the original, and they're obviously not exactly the same, but they're similar enough that you can kind of tell which room from the original you're standing in. A country in Europe, Yamini. I think I see where you're going with this, Yami. I'm gonna say... I'll make it easy on you, Yami, and I'll say Italian. Hey, Aboera! Oh, it does work changing the language in your console settings, Radio Crawler. Okay. Yeah, Kira, that's probably how Marcus was doing it then. Alright. A couple of potions, and then there's another one over here that I think has grenades? Yes, it does. Oh, okay, actually, here we get a better view of Stamp. There he is. Alright. So now I see why I mistook him for Mickey and a Kingdom Hearts reference in the beginning. Because he does look a lot like Mickey, because his coloration is very similar. But he appears to just basically be a dog wearing an army helmet. And in this advertisement, he's holding a bottle of mineral water. Yeah, I believe it's April 10th. Clutch. Because over here, there's a poster of him, but you can't really see it very well because it's hidden behind a bunch of, barrels and construction equipment. You can see him here, but you can only really see the top half of him. And you have to kind of clip the camera into the archway to get it to zoom in far enough to see what's going on. He appears to be carrying a wounded other dog here. Where it's basically the caption down there, you can barely see it, but it says, Stamp stands up for his friends. And this is essentially just a bunch of Shinra propaganda. It's apparently like a comic strip that Shinra runs or something like that, or a book. I suspect, considering this is a Japanese game, it's probably more like a manga or a visual novel or something. But you get a much better view of what Stamp actually looks like on this little advertisement here. And this, I guess, is how Barrett pejoratively refers to Cloud as Little Stamp. He's referring to that character because Stamp, I guess, is supposed to be a loyal Shinra dog. Yami, you'll thank me for it when you've tried out a new restaurant and discovered something you enjoy. Plus, it's noodles, so it's not out of the ordinary for you. Come back and show your appreciation once you've eaten dinner, Yami.
So what's Soldier Boy's deal? Is he one of us now? He's got balls, this, what was his name again?
Cloud Strife.
Right.
And he isn't a soldier anymore. Still, he's a professional, unlike the rest of us. I'm glad to have him.
This is a one-time gig. When it's done, we're done.
Poor Wedge, man.
Real joy to work with, though.
Real joy to look at, too.
Here we go.
Looks are what people notice first.
Come on.
Guess I'm not on the same page as people.
I'd say you're not even reading the same book.
Enough. We're done here.
Or even the same...
Give it a rest.
These two. I do really like the interactions between characters here. Yeah, Vegeta, I saw that in Max's footage, that he came all the way back here after going to the reactor. There unfortunately isn't anything else you can do here in the demo, but I have a sneaking suspicion that in the retail version of the game, enemies will probably respawn, and I imagine you'll be able to do a little bit of farming here. I've got to say, I really, really appreciate, and this is a point that Max made as well, but I really appreciate they didn't just cast Yuri Lowenthal as Cloud and Tara Platt as Aerith, and, you know, just the same people who get every role in every game ever these days. I really appreciate that the voice actors they chose, and in fact, the second final set of voice actors they chose, rather than the original ones, are people who, you know, they're accomplished in other areas of acting, but they're people I would never have expected to see voicing the cast of FF7. And out of all of them, Wedge is probably the best casting choice I can think of. They really, really made the right call. I've never watched Breaking Bad. I'm not familiar with it, but the fact that this guy is one of the characters from Breaking Bad, they really were stepping outside their own industry to hire the voice cast, and I'm really glad they did that. Yeah, Radio Crawler, the animations are fantastic. Just the banter is fantastic, like the trash talk between Cloud and Barrett during the battles is great. And the characters' personalities really come out the way that they were in the original FF7, which, now that I think about it, is, I think, also a point Max made. I feel like I'm just channeling Max now, but it's true. I mean, Wedge didn't really get a lot of play in the original. He had a few lines of dialogue that gave you some hints about the fact that he really isn't cut out for this life. He really has no business being in Avalanche. He's too much of a softie for it. He's too nice a guy. And you get a little bit of a sense of that in the original, but they really add to his character here without changing his character. They do more to give you a sense of who he is and who he was in the original without changing him in a way that isn't canon. And I think they really did a great job of that, too. Just the lines of dialogue he's got here.
You'll keep us safe, right, Cloud?
And his kind of nerdy voice that lacks in confidence.
Wow, they've almost got the door. We're doing this. We're really doing it. Man, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Well, Dandy Wizard, he actually blames that on Tifa in the original. When you talk to him at the Seventh Heaven Bar in Sector 7, he says, I eat Tifa's cooking all the time, and now look at me, I'm a chonk. I keep trying to sneak around Shinra headquarters, but the clap of my cheeks keeps alerting the guards. Let's see, Yami, what do we got? Oh, Yami, this is fine. Listen, Yami, I'll tell you exactly what you should order here. I'll give you my recommendations. What you're gonna want is, go for the spaghetti carbonara. Or, well, the carbonara will be a white sauce. If you want a red sauce, I would go for... Let's see... Ooh, the linguine alla vongole is really nice. The clam linguine. Or if you want lots of other kinds of seafood, go for the linguine di mare, which will be a bunch of kind of combined. And if you want just a good appetizer, get yourself the caprese or the mozzarella en carrozza. Fried calamari is a bit of a risk. It can be either really good or really bad, depending. The bruschetta would be really good as well. It's very hard to get that wrong. And this looks like kind of a nicer restaurant, Yami. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Antipasti is like a salad, Yami, but it's a salad that will have other ingredients in it besides vegetables. It'll typically have some meat, some cheese, and some vegetables in it as well. Like, read the ingredients, Yami. It tells you what's in them. Don't worry about the names, just read what's included. Well, yeah, Plus on Black. I mean, these two here, Biggs and Jesse, they've got what you would call rad bods. Wedge has more what you'd call a dad bod. And Barrett, holy hell, don't even talk about Barrett. And actually, here's another poster that I don't think we got a good look at. Oh, well, whoops. You'll be fine, Yami. You'll be fine.
Come on, nobody do something this crazy just for money. They may not think you're a true believer, but you know what I think?
Not interested.
Poor Wedge.
Wedge.
Wedge is just too nice for this line of work. No, Kev, of course not.
Worth the money, Merc. Every last gil.
This is just the demo again. Well, what's he gonna do with the other arm when he's climbing Radio Crawler, right? Hey, Wonder Child, welcome back. Good to see you. Here's the iconic scene. And I don't know if you noticed it, but they actually zoomed out the perspective a little bit for this. They went very slightly into a fisheye camera view for that shot. It was very subtle, and it was very well done. And you might not even notice it, but they did. I'm doing all right, thank you, Wonder Child. How about you? And hello, DuppyCon QR. Welcome. Well, NZL Clutch, they got, not necessarily votes, but they just got tons of feedback from the community about how much people wanted this. That's the entire reason they made it, is because people spent the past 23 years screaming at Squaresoft and Square Enix on social media, on the internet, in reviews, in game magazines, pretty much any opportunity people could find to, like, you know, call up Shuhei Yoshida and Hironobu Sakaguchi, or eventually later Nomura, or, you know, any of the Square execs, Yoshinori Kitase, who is actually still working on the game, or anybody they could get a hold of on the dev team and say, please, remake this game. And then, a number of years ago, when the PS3 tech demo came out, that was the end of it. Then people just, they saw what could potentially be, and they just flipped their shit, and they went, no, we can't. This would be thrown out potential if we don't make it happen now. Very good, Wonder Child. I'm glad to hear you've been doing well. Well, Wonder Child, I don't think Square is the bad guy so much as just Square was so out of touch, or at least the people who were in charge when this project was first started at Square are so out of touch that they had no idea how to make this in a way that would please the community. And there are a lot of conflicting demands from the community, let's be honest. We all know that. We've been around for it. Even those of us who aren't really huge fans of FF7, you've seen all the people arguing on Twitter and Reddit and GameFAQs about what they would want a remake of this game to be. And there hasn't really been a completely clear consensus on a lot of those details. So it seems like one of the best decisions they made was just throwing Nomura off the project and putting it in the hands of the people who did the legwork for the original. Because those guys not only know what they loved about the game, but they're the ones who stayed in touch with the community after the game was made. The executives at Square, I don't think they really pay much attention to the games they make after they're out, other than in terms of sales numbers. Whereas the programmers, I think, have more of an attitude that, well, was all my effort for nothing, or did I help make a good game? And so the programmers are the ones who are more invested in it, because they've put in all the work. You know, they've done all the labor, they put in all the love. They want to know that their efforts are going to make people happy. Whereas the higher up the chain of command you go, I feel like the less it becomes about making the community happy, and the more it becomes about making the shareholders and the investors happy. That is not unique to Squaresoft or Square Enix either. He was originally going to be the director of this, Duppycon QR, but under his direction, the game started to take a shape that when people saw it, they became quite unhappy with. And so it is now Yoshinori Kitase who is directing it. They had a version of this game that they just completely threw out. I believe the company that originally was making it was CyberConnect, and it was mostly farmed out. They weren't doing the majority of the development in-house. They farmed a lot of it out to CyberConnect, and they didn't really, Nomura didn't seem to be really taking it seriously. People saw some early functional footage of it, and there were a lot of complaints, a lot of concerns voiced, and Square Enix, to their credit, decided that they weren't going to finish making the game in that state if people weren't going to be happy with it. So they shuffled around the direction of the FF7 Remake team, and Kitase is now in charge. Well, Fennec, and that's why it's a good thing they replaced Nomura. Because famously, Nomura, when somebody approached him and asked him about the FF7 remake, and I think specifically it was somebody who commented to him that, I really wish the FF7 remake has the original active time battle system in it, or something along those lines. It was Something to the effect that someone approached him at a convention or an event or something and told him that they wished the remake would include some of the old systems. And his response was a head scratch, a bewildered stare, and he said, "People still want a game like that?" Mind you, this was after at least 17 or 18 years of people screaming for a remake of FF7. So Nomura was way out of touch. Way out of touch. Out of touch with the Western community for sure, probably even out of touch with the Japanese community. Because he's been in a more managerial role ever since Sakaguchi got sacked over not Advent Children, Spirits Within. So, the thick and thin of it is, it's for the best that Nomura got replaced. Yeah, Wonder Child, I think that might be what it boils down to. And yeah, Erasus, I agree. Most of the other remakes that have come out of Square Enix over the past few years, and even before that, have been really disappointing. The Secret of Mana remake, and I'm looking at the Trials of Mana remake, and it's looking like it's going to have the exact same problems as Secret of Mana did. So I'm worried about that too, but yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3, although that was a brand new game, that wasn't really a remake of anything. But yeah, it looks like they got all of their best team together for the FF7 remake, and I'm really glad they did. They did bring back a lot of the original dev team, at least those who are still working at Square now. So they got the right consultants for this.
Get him, boy!
All right. There we are.
Hey!
Looks like you're next.
Boo-hoo!
Shit. It's over.
There, that ground stab,
Let's go.
you see how it gives Cloud a kind of a sparkly aura? That, I guess, is a temp buff. I'm not sure precisely what it does, but it seems to increase his attack power a little bit. Because normally Braver doesn't hit for 800 on those guard dogs even when you have staggered them. I did not, Jack Fan, no. I got sidetracked with other things, and then PAX happened, and here we are. Yeah, MCR, it seems like Nomura is best off when he doesn't have his hands directly on things.
Hey, Cloud! Elevator's over there! Catch up soon!
Well, Duppy, Max said it's Berserk, but I haven't noticed that I haven't noticed any effect it has as far as decreasing your defense. It does seem to increase your attack, but I haven't noticed a defense-lowering effect on it. Granted, I haven't really had much opportunity to observe it because enemies in the demo unfortunately do not respawn.
Here we go. That's that. It's over.
Alright, come on. There we go.
That's that. Sorry.
Alright.
Nothing to it.
I'll tell you what, guys, Max was right about one thing. He said that the demo is really challenging the first time you play it, especially if you play it on normal mode, while you're still getting familiar with the systems and everything. But once you play it a second time, stuff definitely starts dying faster. And it becomes much easier to deal with the tankier enemies like the dogs, and I imagine probably also the sweepers. Star Ocean is Tri-Ace, Dandy Wizard. Wonder Child, it isn't turn-based, and it is this demo, it has it. What it is, though, is it's under gameplay, it's under difficulty, and you set it to classic. It isn't really turn-based, but it's closer to turn-based than the pure action kind of battle system that the game has on easy or normal. What classic does is it has all of your characters auto-attack all the time in battle, and because everybody is auto-attacking, all you really have to do is focus on entering your commands. The reason it's similar to the original ATB system is because your allies' ATB gauges fill as they attack. So, in essence, it's still kind of the same. You have your allies automatically attacking, and their ATB gauges are going up over time. And then when someone's ATB gauge is full, you just select a command with them as you would in the original. And you have them enter the command, you have them execute it, and then when the next character's ATB gauge is full, you select a command with them, right? So it's a really brilliant way of integrating effectively a similar sort of battle system to the original into a very, very different combat style, which is what we've got in the remake. Yeah, exactly, Vegeta. And I'm already noticing that my management of ATB and just of Cloud's mode switches and his counters and the self-buff from the charge attack in Punisher mode are way better. Well, Wonderchild, Classic says it does set the combat difficulty to the equivalent of easy, which is disappointing. I wish they gave us Classic mode with normal difficulty. But probably they will in the retail version. Yeah, Vegeta, there's going to be, especially from what I saw in Max's footage, there's going to be a lot more tech, a lot more strategical and tactical consideration in the remake. And one of the most brilliant things...
This way.
One of the most brilliant things they've done in this version is they've taken encounters that were fairly mundane in the original. Encounters with enemies like the Sweeper, right? Or the Guard Scorpion, or what they're now calling the Scorpion Sentinel. Right, when you ran into a Sweeper in the reactors or the surrounding area, that battle lasted maybe 20 seconds. You hit the Sweeper once or twice with bolt magic and a couple of physical attacks, and the battle's over. Here, they've made it so that if you just walk up and mash the square button, the battle is going to take forever, and there's a good chance you might die. I've seen the videos of it, Radio Crawler, yeah. So, yeah, Stagger is amazing, NZL Clutch. All right. Yeah, Radio Crawler, between spamming Focus Thrust and Thunder Magic, and, I mean, generally just using your ATB charges when you have them. This is one of the reasons I really like the ATB system in this game particularly, is it's more resource management than just cooldowns. Think of how much worse the combat in this game would be if instead of building your meter by hitting enemies, you had cooldowns with fixed timers. Think of how miserable that would be in an action-oriented game like this. Whereas, because you have resource management, if you are good, if you are skilled, and you, for example, pull off lots of combos, use attacks that hit multiple enemies at the same time, because as far as I can tell, that seems to build your ATB gauge faster than just hitting a single enemy. You build your meter faster, and then you can spend your meter faster. And if you spend your meter immediately when you've got it, then you free up space for more meter, which gives you more to spend. Yes, NZL Clutch. The enemies, it's not like the original game, where you're walking around on a field map, and then a battle happens, and then you see a screen transition, and you end up on the battle map. It is more that the enemies are just kind of chilling in the environment. Like, the battle here with the guys in the guard dog in the previous area, they were standing by the door when I approached. I could see them from a long distance away, and they just got up and attacked me when I approached them. Dank memes, there's footage of it. There's trailer footage of the Sector 6 event with Corneo, with Eris in her dress, and Cloud in his drag, and Tifa in her costume. It exists. Cloud Strife Official. I wonder why that account is showing up for footage of the FF7 demo. I am German and I live in Germany, Cloud Strife Official. But this is Midgar. Not that I have to tell you that. Well, Wonderchild, I was reading an article or a post or something somewhere a while ago comparing Devil May Cry 5 to the new God of War game, and talking about how much more dynamic and fun the combat is in Devil May Cry 5, because rather than relying on cooldowns as you do in the new God of War, in Devil May Cry 5 you just have meter, and there are different ways that players of different skill levels can spend the meter in DMC5, where players in DMC5 who are less skilled can kind of save their meter and sit on it, and then only use it for healing or something, or, for defensive abilities. Whereas players who are really skilled can dance in and out of different combat styles and modes, using their meter more dynamically and situationally. And although FF7 Remake definitely does not have the same level of mode switching and combat styles that DMC5 has, it doesn't seem to be that far off. It really seems as though, especially from what I've seen of the footage later in the demo, and characters like Tifa and Eris, and especially just all of the characters once they've learned more abilities, the combat seems to become really dynamic just based on the synergy between your abilities, between your characters, between the materia you have equipped, and the weapons you have equipped, because it turns out that you can upgrade your weapons in the remake, which is something I learned from watching Max's footage, but it is fascinating to me, and I think it's an amazing change where you don't actually have to change your weapon out. You can upgrade the Buster Sword and just use the Buster Sword for the remainder of the game, is what seems to be the case. Because each weapon now has its own materia core. Like, the Buster Sword has the Buster Sword core, which is a materia that is explicitly attached to that weapon. And you can apparently level up a weapon's core materia, and it will increase the weapon's stats and attributes, and possibly even enable it to use new moves. And it turns out that Cloud's focused thrust ability is tied to the Buster Sword. So if you equip a different weapon, Cloud loses the ability to use Focus Slash. Focus Slash is apparently a Buster Sword exclusive, which makes me really interested to see what some of the other weapons are going to have, because we saw footage of Cloud in one of the earlier trailers fighting Airbuster, and he was using the hard edge, which normally you can't get in the original version by the time you fight Airbuster. The hard edge is a weapon you steal from Soldier 3rd class enemies in the Shinra HQ building. So I guess maybe they either gave it to Cloud for the demo purposes, or they changed the remake so that you're able to buy the hard edge before going to Shinra HQ. Oh, I see, Cloud Strife Official. Well, I'm happy to support it. I played the original in 1997 when I was 12, and I've been a fan of it ever since then. So, no, Edgemaster, I'm just kind of speaking my mind to chat, really. I do tend to get distracted here. I know people are probably waiting for me to...
Not so fast. We've got company.
To do some combat, but I have so much to say just about the demo, and there's not enough content in the demo for me to continue doing things and say all of it, you know?
Get ready.
Alright, so switch. Wait for the counter. Or are you just not going to do anything? Okay.
Here it comes.
Oh, okay, well, I whiffed the...
Whatever.
There we are. There we go. Alright.
That it?
Very interesting. So the Berserk buff seems to last a decent amount of time. Very good, Yami. Take some pictures, if you don't mind, Yami. Let me know how the restaurant is. Let me know if it's worth me checking it out next time I'm in Manhattan. Alright, I want to make sure I don't miss any treasure chests here either. Fire magic is great on the dog's radio crawler. I keep forgetting to use it, but then I also have this instinct to save my MP. And I keep forgetting that MP does slowly recharge in this game, and they're fairly generous with the recovery items in the demo. They're fairly generous with the amount of ether they give you, and... Fair enough, Yami. Okay, Sample Vampires, good luck. Have a good one. Really, there was nothing? Well, Yami, take some pictures for me if you don't mind, and show me later when you get back. For the meantime, though, enjoy your dinner. There we are. See, Clutch, these guys were just hanging out.
No holding back.
Watch your health. Oh, am I already, Wait, hang on.
Won't last long.
What the hell? Okay, I think I messed up an input there. Alright, come on.
Was never in doubt.
Tempest, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. Alright. Items. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw this in Max's footage that you can select multi-use if you hold L1 with the potions equipped. I was wondering this during my first time through the demo. Oh, I know, Cloud Strife, but it's going to be similar enough. I mean, obviously, this is an earlier demo. I think Max was saying this is the demo from November, whereas the build he played at Square headquarters was from, like, February. So, yes, obviously there are going to be a few differences, but the gameplay at its core is going to be the same. Well, Vegeta, but the spells cost less MP. They cost at least 1 less MP. I think they cost 4 or 5 MP to cast in the original. They're only 3 MP here. So... Really, Sam? Well, I guess I should be proud. No. Alright. Those things have physics too. Yeah, Cloud, I know, I've been using it, but it only seems to work in battle. Unless that's something they added in a later build. 2 potions, very good. Well, Magenta, I think I know why.
Come on, Cloud.
Pick up the pace.
I think the reason they didn't stick with the original HP system is because even some of the regular enemies, never mind the mini-bosses and the actual bosses in the remake, have gotten so much more complicated that in order for you to be able to stagger them or damage their sub-targets or do any of the really cool stuff that you can do, especially against the larger enemies like the Sweeper or the Guard Scorpion, those enemies really need to have more health. They need to have enough health that you can beat on them for a while and do all the fun combo-y dynamic combat stuff and not have them die before you get to use your really satisfying big finishers. Which appears to be why they've changed it to more of a Final Fantasy XIV, maybe not quite on the level of Final Fantasy XIV, but maybe more of an FF15 type HP and MP scheme in terms of the amounts and the ratios. Yeah, Slime King, and I'll get to that when I fight the Sweeper in the next segment,
I'll
but...
secure our escape route, okay? You go on and catch up with the others. Keep them safe, please. Don't worry about me. Go.
I do, again, really appreciate what they've done with the environment here. When I look at this environment from a 3D perspective, I immediately just know, like the immediate image that flashes in my mind is the pre-rendered, hand-drawn environment of the original FF7, where you're looking down on it from roughly this angle, from above, and you see just the T-shaped bridge, you see the door there leading into the reactor, you see the way that you came out of. Like, this room immediately brings me right back to the memory of the original map for this screen in FF7. And I know immediately, without more than a cursory look around, exactly where I am in the environment of the original game. And that alone is such a huge sensation of nostalgia. And they knew exactly what they were doing when they designed this area this way. They knew that for anyone who had played the original game, you would know exactly where you're standing. And this view of the Shinra headquarters here, we never got this in the original. Like, we couldn't see anything in this direction off the bottom part of the screen, which is where we would be looking now. Ronan, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. Really appreciate that. Yes, so far I would say it is. Yeah, Wonderchild, I've been hearing that even on the standard PS4s, the frame rate has been running at a fairly solid 35-ish FPS. On the PS4 Pro with an SSD, which is what I'm using, it's been completely consistent. I haven't had any kind of frame drops or lag, other than in the reactor core for a little tiny moment where, I think it was when I was sliding down a ladder, but then this pan out where you can see exactly where you are, it's just so good.
Soldiers may attack on command, but I hear they make good guard dogs too.
They reproduced it so
Bet
faithfully.
You've seen a few reactors. So how do we get to the bridge above Mako storage? Ain't holding out on me, are you? Stamp scared to bite the hand that fed him? Or is he a loyal little doggy? Have it your way, Mutt. We can do this with you, or we can do this without you.
Different reactor, different layout. Depends when it was built. Never seen one like this, but I'll manage.
Yeah, Wonderchild, Max was saying that he thinks it runs at 1440p on the PS4 Pro, which it might. And the PS4 Pro also has a super sampling mode, which I have active right now. The problem is, even though I do have an HD TV, which is a Sony HD TV, so you'd think it would be compatible with the PS4 Pro, unfortunately my TV is probably just old enough that it does not support the advanced features of the PS4 Pro, and it is not a 4K HD TV. It's just 1080p.
I'm watching you.
So this is what Max was talking about, how we can kind of go back and listen to the ambient sounds, which out here don't appear to be an awful lot. There's some wind, I guess. But not over much else. I still, though, I think the view of Shinra HQ in the distance is fantastic. And just the cranes on the wall in the horizon, the scaffolding where everything looks like it still has kind of an under construction feel to it. They did such a fantastic job with the atmosphere here.
Don't you worry. Biggs will have the door open soon. Don't you worry. Biggs will have the door open soon.
I'm watching you.
In 3, 2... Damn, I'm good.
You disagree with Barrett's voice, Noah Bad? I think it fits perfectly.
Door! We'll wait! It's over!
That's my line.
The cut to the original battle theme here is fantastic. Yeah, Chrono, very cyberpunk. And some steampunk as well. They did a pretty decent balance of the two, actually, in the original FF7. Mostly cyberpunk, but a little bit of steampunk thrown in. Especially in the slums, like in the areas below the plate. Would the online bundle version include an item which ruins a new gamer experience? As far as I can tell, Meta, no. The only things that the advanced versions, like the more expensive editions of the game include, are a couple of summoning materia, which I've watched a little bit of footage of, and they don't appear to be all that broken. It does seem that the DLC summoning materia can be used in regular battles, whereas the major ones like Ifrit and Shiva and Leviathan cannot. But the Choco Chick and the Cactar and the Carbuncle summons do not appear to be significant enough to have a major impact on the difficulty of the game. Sam, thank you very much for the 90 bits. Really appreciate that. Heard the remakes of Those Who Fight Further? What, the official ones in this game? Sam? Yeah, I have. One of them plays when you fight the Guard Scorpion. Well, Onyx Tyrant, it's like I told you. I didn't believe it would come out in the beginning either, but here we are, and I'm really happy. All right, they want us to use Punisher mode here.
We can take it! Make it rain!
So if we just mash square in Punisher mode, we get the large flurry of slashes and then the heavy overhead. Whereas if we hold square, we get the ground stab,
Knows just what to say.
Cut it out.
which is nice. The combat is fairly dynamic, and this is just with early game abilities.
I got this place covered.
All right. I am fairly certain that Max had a Moogle medal sometime before now, and I don't remember where he got it. Alright, well, whatever.
It's a good thing I know someone who can get us the passcodes. Pity no one else at command will talk to us, but what can you do? Then we're good.
Noabad, we unfortunately will not know that
Careful
in the...
there.
We will not know that in the first installment of the FF7 remake, because Kate Shee was Disc 2. He does not join your party in the original version of the game until you get to the Gold Saucer, and that is long past leaving Midgar. So we won't have any idea how Kate Shee actually plays until they make progress on the second installment of the FF7 remake. I think there's a Moogle medal here. No, I guess not. It's just Phoenix Downs. Let's see, what's prohibited? Flammable substances, toxic substances, corrosive agents, and unauthorized dangerous goods. Vegeta, Kate Shee is how you pronounce... this guy's name. According to Max, it is, Radio Crawler. I don't know if this is supposed to be the exact room where you get one in the original. In both of the reactors that you blow up in the original FF7, there are side rooms that have items hidden away in them. One of them is a Phoenix Down. I don't think it's in this room, though. I don't think it's on the main path. It would have been... like, if we say that... because I think the camera perspective in the original... this is the door leading into the next section, to the elevator. The camera perspective in the original would have been about this. We would have been looking down on this screen from this angle. The Phoenix Down in this area was out this way and up here in a room that would have been through this door, I think. Or if it wasn't up here, it would have been in a room through here and through a door going off to the bottom of the screen. Because again, we would have been looking at it from about this angle, and the bottom of the screen would have been this way. It was in a room either up here or down here. It wasn't on the main path.
I got this place covered.
So it's not exactly where it originally was, but it's close enough. That's what I mean. It's... you could look at it as a bit of a nod if you remember it. I wonder, Noabad, that's a good question. I wonder if they're going to have all Lucky 7s in this version.
Looks like the elevator's on another floor. Mind pushing that button?
No, Vegeta, but that's how... Kate Shee comes from, I think, Celtic folklore. Let me give you a reference. Oh, come on, load, damn it. There we are. It'll either be Kate Shee or Kate Thee or something along those lines. But here it is. It's Scottish folklore. All right. So The character in Final Fantasy VII by that name is named after the spirit from folklore. Because Keiichi himself is just the cat part of that character. The stuffed Mog, or Moogle, that he rides around on is essentially just an accessory to him. It's basically his weapon. I mean, technically his weapon is a megaphone, but...
Looks like the elevator's on another floor. Mind pushing that button?
His physical attacks basically involve his Moogle doing big, heavy punches. But the fairy cat part of him is the actual character. No, Wonder Child, I was playing a different game and switched to this.
So, you know Tifa, right? It's not really my business, but are you guys close?
I have not, Clutch, no.
Tifa and I...
I guess there's a cutscene in the newer versions of the game that isn't present here, which I found out about from Max's footage. Tell you what, they really did justice to Heidegger and President Shinra here. Heidegger's supposed to be kind of a fat, pompous idiot.
These sewer rats appear to call themselves Avalanche, sir.
Or that's how he's portrayed.
We are currently investigating whether they belong to the same group that made the attempt on your life.
This, I think, is a reference to Before Crisis.
Rest assured, our inquiries will not take much longer. This pump's sole purpose is to drain the planet dry. While you sleep, while you eat, while you shit, it's here sucking up Mako. It doesn't rest, and it doesn't care. You do realize what Mako is, don't you? Mako is the lifeblood of our world. The planet bleeds green like you and me bleed red. The hell you think's gonna happen when it's all gone, huh? Answer me! You gonna stand there and pretend you can't hear the planet crying out in pain? I know you can!
You really hear that?
Damn straight I do!
Get help.
I love that comeback.
Say that again!
Yeah, Ugo Tetris.
I'd worry less about
I've
the
seen
planet
it.
and more about the next 5 seconds. Save the screaming for later.
Noabad, I was going to say before I got interrupted by the cutscene, in the original FF7, Heidegger was depicted as a kind of fat, pompous idiot.
Our lives are on the line now.
With a really tropey, stereotypical anime kind
You
of
listening, Merc?
laugh.
One false move. And that happens.
Well, so much for having Cloud do all the fighting. There are some places a sword just can't reach.
Like, Heidegger's dialogue in the original game, Noabad, he would say stuff like, "Gya ha ha, I'm gonna use my new weapon," and then you'd blow it up and he'd go, "Oh no!" Like, he was just kind of dumb and incompetent. Here, they've made him more menacing, which I think actually suits his character a little bit better. Although I wonder where they're going to go with it. We don't even see Scarlet in the demo at all. Which I guess
Just
makes sense,
bear with him
because
for me, would you?
Yeah.
Scarlet is only in charge of
Should have asked for more money.
developing weapons, whereas Heidegger is in charge of using them. Heidegger's in charge of Shinra's military. Yeah, exactly, Onyx Tyrant. Rufus's exact line is, "Stop that stupid horse laugh." Well, Vegeta, we definitely don't see it in any of the demo footage. Or, you know, this demo. But yeah, they definitely made Heidegger more menacing, and they made him thinner. He actually looks like he's more in shape, as you would expect a general to be.
Gonna throw your sword at him? Let the man with the gun go to work. These tin cans ain't got nothing on me.
I only wish that I could see. Okay.
Now for the real show.
I'm not entirely sure it's necessarily worth trying to recharge Barrett's overcharge ability in the midst of battle. I feel like you use overcharge once and you maybe hit the charge again, but I'm not seeing that overcharge does enough burst damage to out-damage the amount of regular gunshots that you would use instead.
No thing.
But I want to kind of try that out here. I want to maybe test a little bit. This took 3 full bursts from Barrett with his regular gun. Okay, actually, maybe it does. I take that back. Although I think these things have less health.
Get your ass out of here.
Well, damn it.
Got nothing on me.
Okay, I see. That's fine, that's good. Okay, Ugu, I see. I really probably should watch more speedruns of this to get a better idea of how the combat goes, because, yeah, speedrunners are usually the ones who are doing all the crazy technical stuff in combat. Me, I'm just kind of trying to take it slow and gradually grasp the basic mechanics at my own pace.
Look what we have here.
We're gonna skip this, because I know how this works. Now, I just wanna... I think there were a couple of treasure chests over here somewhere. I love how the lasers can hit the boxes. But what I'm going to try to focus on here is just getting the feel for managing everybody's ATB charges, making sure that I'm using them as they're being refilled and not wasting them, because that's what I had trouble with last time, is just letting ATB charges sit and get wasted because they weren't being used. Welcome back, Swordinary Guy. And it's a nice little touch here that they've made a sort of a visible light source in this wire on the stairs to show you where to go. They did a good job with that, guiding the player with light sources in this demo anyway, and I'm sure they've done it throughout the game. Whoops.
Pretty easy, right? Pay more attention.
Of course, right when I start running. This is, I think, 3 on and then 1 off. And here we're getting Mako, so probably I should just, I should just be having Barrett use Cure. Oh, and actually... I need to get used to this, too. What I want to do here, though, is I want to go to Battle Settings, and I want to I want to set Barrett. I want to set focused shot. I want to set fire in the hole. I want to set thunder. And I want to set steel skin. And I also want to check I think it's under battle settings, actually. No, spells, inventory, party. Yeah, there it is. Because Barrett, I can now read the descriptions of his equipment. A custom order gun commissioned specifically to take down Shinra forces. Barrett's longtime right-hand man. Amazing. And an armband crafted from iron, a sophisticated accoutrement with a reasonable price tag. Whereas Cloud's sword appears to be a reference to Genesis, I guess. A large broadsword that has inherited the hopes of those who fight. Or I guess maybe to Zack. Yeah, Vegeta, because there's already a lot to keep track of in battles. And it's easy to forget about your ATB charges, and especially to forget about staggering. I'm going to try and practice that properly on the sweeper down here.
They don't call those things sweepers for nothing. They can wipe out a whole squad in seconds.
Not if you wipe the floor with them first.
I'm going to go grab the treasure chest over here. Yeah, Radio Crawler, it also appears to be a reference to the track name for the battle theme. But to whomever it was I was speaking to earlier about the reason that enemies in this game have overall more health is because what I'm about to try to do to that sweeper over there is something that would not be possible if they had the original health amounts.
Ah, we can take this hunk of junk.
That hunk of junk is a heavy weapons platform. If we rush in, we die.
Is that right?
Need to hit it with magic. That should give us an opening.
It is really nice, I will say, that Cloud has a gap closer.
Keep it together.
Alright, so... Great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have Barrett... Whoops. I'm going to have Barrett cast Thunder. I'm going to have Cloud use Focused Thrust.
Hey, it's not moving.
And then I'm going to have Barrett use...
Give it all you got.
And actually have Cloud use Focus Thrust again, and I'm going to have Barrett use Thunder. There we go. And see, we staggered it much faster.
Don't need to tell me twice. I'm going to enjoy this. Suck now. Suck on this.
And Barrett's going to use Thunder again. And there we go. That went a lot better than my first fight with this thing went.
Soldier first class. Doesn't go into the 20s.
What the hell are you talking about? I mean your age, not your goddamn rank.
This is great dialogue, too.
For all I know, a soldier's rank could be the same as his age. Mm-hmm. Guess that'd make you a 1-year-old, huh? Live and learn.
Yeah, Vegeta, Aeris seems to be a really interesting character in this game. They gave her a lot more depth than just the Healy, magey, spammy, casty character. She has some utility stuff that looks like it could be really useful. I never ended up using her in the original because, you know, you lose her anyway partway through the game, and most of her limit breaks weren't all that good. And by the time you got a good limit break with her, you only got to use it for one dungeon before she permanently left your party. Whereas here, it seems like she may stay useful from the very beginning all the way up until the very end. Ford, thank you so much for the tier 3 resub. Welcome back. I really appreciate that. It is, Vegeta, but like with the sweepers, the gap closer in Punisher mode is enough. They've got a little bit of a dash attack, but the normal attacks in Punisher mode will close that gap. But the thing about the way I handled this fight with the sweeper is it took a fraction of the amount of time it took me the previous time when I didn't have the presence of mind to use my ATB. The trick is going to be charging up ATB, and it seems like maybe it's a little easier to charge ATB as Barret to start off with, or you have to micromanage him a little more. So what I'm going to do is, now that I know how, thanks to Max, I'm going to set Barret to the leader. So I guess Cloud stays the leader out of battle, but then when we actually get into a battle, we start off as Barret. Because Cloud's regular attacks are going to build his ATB gauge anyway. But as Barret, it seems like he needs more micromanaging in order to build his ATB gauge optimally. Whereas Cloud might not necessarily need that. Yeah, Vegeta, and it doesn't seem like Barret will use Overcharge on his own. When I left him on AI control during the fight with the sweeper,
bomb at the bottom.
He took forever to build any ATB, and he didn't seem to be using Overcharge at all. And just so, I kind of get the feeling Cloud might not use his mode switches when he's on AI control. So I might have to micromanage that too. I might have to, I think there should be a battle over here somewhere.
Scared, huh?
More like excited. I've been dreaming about this for years.
Heads up, boys.
I thought there was a battle on this platform.
Not that way. Down the ladder, dummy.
Yeah, thanks, Jesse. I appreciate it. Right, this is the way we go on the way out. Oh, there's a battle over here. There are some mono drives. That's what it is. All right, so what I need to do is switch Cloud
Sure it wasn't something you ate?
to Punisher mode. Maybe keep him out of the way for a little while. No, okay. Okay. I don't have ATB. Oh, I'm out of MP is what the problem is. There we go.
Now that was something else.
That was nothing.
It looks like Cloud builds ATB faster than Barret does if you leave him on AI. Alright, so what do I want to do here? I want to use an ether on Barret, because I spammed all his MP. I don't doubt that it does, Meta. The localizations are probably slightly different for each language.
You think if we fell in, we'd sink right down to the bottom? To the planet's core? No. The pump.
I'm waiting. Whatever.
All right.
Take you all on!
Steady.
How'd you like that? Get your ass out of here!
Okay.
And there you have it.
I definitely want to learn a little bit better how to use Barret. Oh, there's the Moogle medal. Okay. Because they've improved it since 13 and 15. Mark Zuckerberg. Great bait, mate. That's... Oh, here we go.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Hey, Ford, welcome!
All right, let's see if little Stamp really can bite the hand that feeds. Go on, do the honors. Prove to me you're the man Tifa says you are. That you're one of us.
Never said I was. I'm just here for the paycheck.
Then do the damn job!
It's similar, Tetris, yes. But I'm willing to wager that when we get to the Shinra HQ building, at the end of the retail version of this, the soldier third class guys that you fight there might use the same stance.
What's wrong?
I'm fine. What about the timer?
Your call, Merc.
They do, Amateur, and a large part of that is because they have all this dialogue. Just their barks and callouts to each other, even during battles and after battles. How Cloud will say, or like Barrett will say, yeah, that was easy, and Cloud will go, yeah, sure it was. Just these little bits of interaction that make everything feel alive. I'm gonna go with 20 again.
Pretty cocky, ain't you?
It turns out it is still a fairly generous time limit.
You double-crossing!
All right, now let's see if I can do this fight better. All right.
Hey, how the hell do we fight this thing?
It's got reinforced armor plating, but the internals can be overloaded. Lightning magic.
No other option, huh?
Damn it, did I just cast thunder in the wrong direction? I did. Right, I need to remember to block. Holy hell, hang on a minute. How did I end up with everybody at such low health? What the hell is going on here?
I ain't going down fighting a goddamn scorpion. You got this. About damn time.
I could have sworn I was fully healed before the battle.
Scratched the damn thing.
Didn't I tell you to use magic?
Thought you were full of shit.
Think whatever you want. Just do it.
All right.
Gotta heal up.
I really need to stay on top of healing here. I was in the middle of an attack at that time and I couldn't back out.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, the gap closer for Punisher mode. Okay, that, I wonder if maybe you're supposed to dodge, because it doesn't look like you should be able to block it.
Need to heal up soon.
And again, maybe you can't block that either.
Take the lead.
All right.
Watch it learn. This is gonna sting. Hell yeah! You see the damage I did?
Keep
Thunder.
it up.
All right. I'm still not doing all that well. I really need to...
The hell is that?
A barrier?
Okay, so this
Never
is where
seen
I
this
gotta get
defense
Barrett
system before.
behind it.
Thought you were the expert.
So what's your brilliant plan, genius?
And I gotta...
My time to shine.
Or go down
I
in
think this
flames.
means... Oh, he's got a rear tail swipe. I don't think I've seen that. And I let go of the freaking block button right when...
If I heal up.
See, this is the... I'm wasting all my ATB. There we go. That I'm supposed to block. Alright.
Taking over.
Get off! Don't just stand there. Help me out, damn it!
Alright.
Deal with that.
Yeah, I'll do it.
This, I think we're supposed to block. Okay, or it could just not hit me.
Damn pain in the ass! If we don't change it up soon, this thing's gonna kill us both!
Less talking, more shooting.
How about
yeah,
less lift from you? Want some more?
Come on, damn it.
So now,
There we go. Okay, so now...
Now's our chance.
Thunder.
Give it everything you've got.
Cloud.
I got it. Here it comes.
God damn it. Okay.
Time to burn. Come on. Take the lead.
about damn time!
It is going to take me some practice, I fear, to fully
You think I care about a few cuts and bruises? Cause I
really
don't.
deal with this. Alright, you know what? Steel Skin might not be bad.
Bring me the heat!
Oh, somehow almost all of those managed to miss me.
We gonna let this thing keep pushing us around? I don't think so.
Well, it's pressured, but you really need to coordinate your attacks in order to take advantage of that. We are doing better this time than we did last time. But now we have to deal with the
Watch
tail
the tail.
laser.
You don't want to be hit by that laser.
Huh? So, what do we do?
Don't get hit. Take cover behind that debris. Hang back. Deal with that.
Need my help, do you? Now, get in there and do some damage!
Barrett is going to need an ether.
Come on, hit that all you got!
The ATB gain
Sure could
from
use a break!
blocking attacks appears to also be really important.
Hey, it's doing that thing again!
Find cover and hunker down.
Oh, I can't.
Again and again and again!
Oh, damn it. I used that at the wrong
Get
time.
in there and do some damage!
Alright, so abilities, I'm going to have Cloud use Focus Thrust. I'm going to use Thunder. No matter what I do, I cannot seem to get this guy into a stagger state. I think I'm just not coordinating my attacks properly, and there are so many different inputs, I keep getting confused by the inputs.
Been a while since I had to go all out. Getting tired of that laser?
Mechs don't get tired or complain.
And you getting tired of my complaining, huh? Solid copy. Now, get in there and do some damage! Look on me!
Hey, Omega, welcome! This is why I wanted more practice with this, because I feel like there's still way too
What
much.
you doing now?
An auto repair unit. Damn it. We gotta take it out quicker with Screw.
Oh, I am way ahead of you, Merc.
Alright, Steel Skin.
When I get my chance, I'm gonna blow this bastard the hell up! And that's a problem!
Ether. No, I need a potion. I keep freaking out and not using what I'm supposed to be using.
Bang, bang. You think I care about a few cuts and bruises?
There
Well,
also
I
appear
don't.
to be places to
Hey,
stand.
follow my lead.
No time to waste.
Why the hell can I not
Let's
cast?
take it
Oh,
out
I don't.
quick.
I don't have enough MP. I haven't even gotten a single limit break yet because I haven't been managing.
That'll do.
God, this is awful.
We gon'
There's so much going on. I really need to spend more time getting used to this.
suck on this.
There we go. Bloody finally.
And down goes another.
And it's dead anyway.
Oh, you in for it now.
Staggered it one hit before killing it. Well, yeah, for anyone who is saying, oh, but this isn't going to be the same as the retail, it's close enough, and as you can see, I really need the practice. I desperately need more time with the battle system of this game before I'm going to make any kind of a decent showing with it in retail. Can you Tetris? Oh, but it's too late now, damn it.
Shit, the bomb.
I'll just have to play through it a few more times on my own when I can properly focus on it without having to talk about it. And hopefully I'll familiarize myself with it a bit better and get more comfortable with the combat by April 10th.
You hear that? Damn thing showed you how it's done.
Come on, we've got to move.
All right, well, there'll be a couple more battles on the way out,
Go, go.
so that'll be something. The thing is, though, I recognize that the difficulty I'm having with the battle system right now is not really the game's fault. It is my fault for just not being familiar with it, you know, not really knowing how to do the thing. This, I think, is where operator mode is a little more useful for weak little pissant enemies like these. It infuriates me to see game journalists complaining about how impossible the difficulty is in this demo. Partly because game journalists will whine about any hint of difficulty, no matter what kind of game they're playing, but partly because even though it is challenging, it is fair. Like, that's the thing. I don't feel like any part of the challenge this game has thrown at me so far is unreasonable or unfair. I feel like I could...
Look okay? Help a girl out, would you?
Once I get used to the systems and I get myself into the mentality of
My
using
hero.
them,
Hey, we'll link up over
and
there.
not just looking
Look
for
after Jesse.
the command window as it was in the original FF7, once
this
I get
way.
myself to that point,
This route should lead us straight to Barrett.
I think things will start going a lot better.
I think I see an exit. Come on.
Oh, hey, Eli, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, you got me there, Eli. The Guard Scorpion is definitely a step up in difficulty, maybe 2 steps. But I think the Sweeper is meant to bridge that gap, you know? Like, the fight with the Sweeper is there to teach you about staggering.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
And you get a couple of fights earlier that are there to teach you about blocking and countering in overdrive mode. And it's just up to you to put all that stuff together
Shut up and climb. You're not helping.
for the Guard Scorpion fight. I feel like, yeah, it's a little bit of a jump, but I don't think it's an unreasonable jump, you know? Yeah, the Sweepers are fantastic, Eli. They're a really great intermediary enemy, kind of as a mid-boss, where they're tough enough to
Barrett!
I've got you covered.
give you an
I'll get the way
opportunity
out
to
of
play
here.
around with staggering and exploiting weaknesses.
Don't worry, I'll be fine. I've got soldiers.
But they're not unreasonably difficult for the point where you encounter them, you know?
X, soldier boy.
They're here!
Whereas this,
We don't have time for this shit.
The security officers are just paper at this
5
point.
seconds is all we need.
Bring it on.
And the... Actually, let's see. Because I keep forgetting to use this. I keep forgetting this exists, and I wanted to check it out. Yeah, exactly, Eli. The one thing that is unfortunate about this demo is the enemies don't respawn, and you only really get 4 or 5 chances to fight tougher enemies. You get the 2 sweepers, the one on the way in and the one on the way out. You get the boss, obviously. And then you get a couple of the shock trooper guys on the way out. But everything is blowing up by the time you get to the shock troopers. And let's see. Troopers serving in the Shinra Public Security Corps are typically seen patrolling the city streets and company installations. Many are new recruits with little training. Yeah, no kidding. Pointy shooty gun. Whereas this enemy is mobile enough that you have to switch back to operator mode for it. The regular enemies I'm getting the feel of, it's just all of the different bringing the systems together for the boss fights I still need to work on. We've got another sweeper out here, which I'm looking forward to. And this is going to be... We switch to Punisher mode for this. Now we switch to Barrett and get the ATB going. Thunder Magic, we switch to Cloud and Focus Thrust, which I should have been closer before I used. Hit it with a fire spell while we're at it.
You don't look so good.
And I just wasted Focus Thrust. There we go. Stagger it. Switch to Barrett. Thunder. Fill up the ATB gauge, get another potion going on Cloud. It's going a little better now, but I still have a long way to go. Oh, okay, the battle is over. That's fine. Alright, now before I forget again, let me just heal up. Zeros, I doubt that. I have a feeling probably enemies will just be free roaming. So, the next guys over here, the shock troopers. Oh wait, these are just mono drives. Okay, never mind. The mono drives, I believe, are weak against fire, but there's no reason for me to waste my MP on that now. Because they go down quickly enough just for regular attacks.
I could have done that on my own.
Sure you could.
That banter there with Barrett saying, I could have done that on my own, and Cloud goes, yeah, sure, buddy. Oh, these have respawned. We got a potion out of that. Yeah, Eli, I would be happy if Midgar was roughly as linear in this version as it was in the original, but they just added some side quests with some story and whatnot. I'd be fine with that. There are maybe better ways they can do it that I'd be happier with, but... Alright, so... These guys right here... Troopers serving in the Shinra Company Public Security Corps. Pharmacological agents and reinforced suits make these troopers tough to take down. They attack with claw weapons equipped to both arms. So these guys, I think you have to use Punisher mode. Yeah, exactly. That'd probably be fine. I think you have to either use Punisher mode or... Because they dodge a lot, so you have to counter them. You have to block, wait for them to hit you. And then hit them with fire. Which I believe is their weakness? Yeah, it is.
That it?
And actually now... Oh, okay. Nope. He's going to try and scan one of them after casting fire on it to see if it updated his weakness, but... I was just a little bit too late. Oh, here we are. Number defeated 1. Oh, it doesn't update his weaknesses even if you hit him with fire.
Here we go.
Oh, and I just got stun locked to shit there.
Whatever. Come on.
Jeez. All right. Yeah, these guys. There we go. So now I've got them both. Okay, this one's down. We're hitting the focus thrust again.
You're done. Now you're in for it.
There we are. Oh, okay. Oh, I got my limit break, but I don't think I can even use a limit break on an enemy I can't reach, can I?
Any last words?
I can't. So if you try to have Cloud use a limit break on an enemy he can't reach, it just whiffs.
Take the lead.
Okay, good to know.
Suck it! Suck on this! Want some more? Ooh. Get your ass out of here!
Was never in doubt.
Yeah, returning to Midgar is a good question, but I suspect by then you'll probably have lots more abilities and other things you can use to make that transition a little easier. Yeah, it seems that way. Do it to it. I know the sense materia is going to be a thing, but...
Sir.
These guys right here, both Heidegger and President Shinra became a lot more ominous in this version. This is also an interesting detail that they add this little explanation for why the explosion from the reactor is as big as it is.
Come on, come on, come on!
And from what I saw in Max's footage, it looks like they spend a lot more time playing up how much damage was done to the city as a result of the explosion. And they do a lot more to show you the human element of it and how much people suffer as a result.
Doors open.
Yeah, Eli, I was watching Max's footage earlier, and it seems from what he said as though you can upgrade weapon cores enough that you can use the same weapon for the entirety of the game if you want to. I mean, I don't see why that wouldn't be the case. Why would they give you the ability to upgrade a weapon
You'd be the first to know.
only enough to use it for a little while
Take that as a yes.
if they weren't going to let you use it the whole way? It seems to me that what they want to do is just make each weapon more unique and maybe have your choice of weapon produce a more meaningful impact on the character's fighting style.
Okay, that was pretty cool.
Like with different
come on.
special moves being tied to certain weapons. It'd be really interesting to see where that goes. Oh, Wonder Child, no, don't do that. Rare materia slabs, Plague. Yeah, or get them to drop from a Mako Wraith or something. I am really looking forward to the full version of this. And from what Max says, and according to this footage, it looks a lot like There's going to be much more focus on the scene of Cloud being chased through Midgar by the Shinra forces, leading up to the scene from the original where he jumps off the bridge onto the train. That entire sequence in the original took all of about 5 minutes. Less if you were speedrunning it. But it sounds like it's going to be a much longer sequence in this version. Right? Right. Red materia slab. Oh no. Gonna have to go to the lost city of, I think in Advent Children they call it Ajit, but the city of ancients, and farm some red materia slabs. Oh, man. Yeah, Noah Bad, they really want you to pre-order this. I might pre-order it the day before it comes out. I'm not a pre-order kind of guy. But at least in this case, we know pretty much what it's going to be. We know that this isn't some vaporware, greedy cash grab of a game. This is the real deal. So if you're going to pre-order anything, I guess it ought to be something like this. Oh, good luck, Kev. Good luck. Well, Eli, it's more that I don't feel like getting any diseases. If I'm going to get in with a developer before marriage, I'm going to use protection. I.e., I'm going to watch reviews and maybe play demos first, right? You don't want to make a long-term commitment. You don't want to go all in with that $60 from your credit card till you're sure it's going to work out, Eli. Although I love the way you put it. Well, let's see. What are we looking at here? We're looking at... $5 hours, 35 minutes. I'll tell you all what. We've had a good experience so far with a game that we know is getting remade in a way that does it justice. What we're going to do now is, because I need to go get some dinner and some sleep, we're going to go raid a friend of mine who is playing a game that will never get remade, ever, and that is doomed to the scrap heap of obscurity. My man Nick, who is playing some Mega Man Legends, we're going to go raid him. Let's go make his evening, and I'm going to go make my evening with some dinner. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I look forward to catching all of you tomorrow for, I guess, something different. Take care, everybody. Sorry, Yami, that's just the way it works, isn't it? Show me the pictures on Discord, Yami. I will catch all of you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.